France's nuclear submarines challenges China in South China Sea. A French submarine carried out a patrol through the South China Sea as part of efforts by France to challenge Beijing's sweeping claims in the disputed waters. France's Defense Minister Florence Parly tweeted late on Monday that the French nuclear-attacked submarine Émeraude and naval support ship Seine sailed through the contentious waters to affirm that international law is the only rule that is valid, whatever the sea where we sail. This extraordinary patrol just completed its passage in the South China Sea, she wrote. This is striking proof of the capacity of our French Navy to deploy far away and for a long time, together with our Australian, American and Japanese strategic partners. Parly added that France had exclusive economic zones in the Indo-Pacific region and intended to protect its sovereignty and interests there. France has carried out several freedom of navigation operations in the energy-rich South China Sea in the past, joining countries such as Britain and the United States in pushing back against China's growing dominance in and militarization of the region. Beijing has overlapping territorial claims in the waters with several neighbors, including the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. In September last year, France, Germany, and Britain issued a joint statement to the United Nations in favor of the 2016 International Tribunal ruling against most of Beijing's claims in the South China Sea. The three countries said Beijing's claims to historic rights in the waters did not comply with international law. Parly said at the Shangri-La Dialogue in June 2019 that Paris would continue to sail in the South China Sea more than twice a year and urged other like-minded countries to follow to maintain open access in the waters. Beijing has long protested against the presence of foreign warships near the South China Sea, and claimed that France recognized China's sovereignty in the waters, including over the Spratly Islands. The islands, which China calls the Nansha Islands, were once occupied by France. The Chinese Foreign Ministry and Defense Ministry did not immediately respond to requests for comment on France's latest operation. Last Friday, the U.S. sailed the guided missile destroyer USS John S. McCain near the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea after passing through the Taiwan Strait. The U.S. Navy said the operation, the first under U.S. President Joe Biden, was part of efforts to challenge excessive maritime claims around the world, regardless of the identity of the claimant. The Chinese People's Liberation Army Southern Theater Command claimed it drove the U.S. warship away from the disputed islands with a warning, and described the move as the usual tactic of mixed manipulation, combined with navigational hegemony and misleading public opinion. Meanwhile, two U.S. Navy carrier strike groups that teamed up for dual carrier drills this week in the South China Sea did not see any abnormal responses from China. We didn't see anything significantly out of the norm with our two carriers coming together for this rendezvous, Rear Admiral Doug Verissimo, who commands Carrier Strike Group 9, told reporters in a phone call Wednesday morning local time when asked about China's response to the drills. We left Guam about a week ago. Nimitz was on their way home and it was a great opportunity to come together, and the fact that we came together in the South China Sea was based on our navigation plan and making the most efficient route to and from our areas, he added. So we didn't see anything beyond normal patterns of life when we were operating together over the past couple days. The Nimitz Carrier Strike Group and the Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group linked up to perform dual carrier drills in the South China Sea on Tuesday. Asked about the message the dual carrier exercises sends China, Carrier Strike Group 11 Commander Rear Admiral Jim Kirk said the drills provide the Navy the chance to enhance readiness in the Indo-Pacific region. Our operations are not a response to any nation or any event. This was an opportunity for us to operate together, which helps us improve our readiness levels in the region, Kirk said. And really, that's what it comes down to, is whenever we get the change to put two aircraft carriers together, it makes all of our teams better. Both admirals said their respective CSG's interactions with Chinese vessels in the South China Sea have been professional. The Nimitz and Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Groups performed dual carrier drills last June in the Philippine Sea. In the midst of the series of dual carrier exercises last summer, the Chinese Navy participated in its own drills near the Paracel Islands. China's state-controlled Global Times on Tuesday published an article that described the dual carrier exercises as symbolic and having more political than military. Verissimo, when asked about the article, disagreed and emphasized that the drills give sailors the chance to work with each other and see another strike group operate. Well, from my view at the tactical level, it's not symbolic, Verissimo said. Verissimo stressed that dual carrier exercises provide a unique chance for sailors. Aircraft carriers are not, we have very few and we operate across the globe. So the opportunity to bring carriers together, the sum of the whole is more than 1 + 1, Verissimo said. We get to explore and experience a longer fly day. We have our additive opportunities to disperse and distribute in order to paint a better picture and understand the space we're operating in much better. The two CSGs were able to meet up for the exercises as USS Nimitz, CVN 68, heads to its home port of Bremerton, Washington, after a lengthy deployment spent mostly in the Middle East. You don't often get to see the mirror image of yourself as a carrier sailor, Verissimo said. So it was wonderful to see our running mates out there at another Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, working side by side. Verissimo said the dual carrier drills help them work on command and control as the two strike groups operate together. It allows us to explore our experience as leaders at the flag level, and it allows many of our sailors at the tactical level and our aviators at the tactical level to work with other units, he said. Meanwhile, China's new law allowing its Coast Guard to open fire on foreign vessels is causing serious anxiety in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Japan. The move may help China to create a quasi-military presence even in sea areas where its navy is absent, analysts say. The Philippines, one of several countries with competing claims to portions of the South China Sea, has lodged a formal protest describing the law as a verbal threat of war. Japanese Defense Minister Nobuo Kishi has said that Japan holds major doubts about the law and regards it as absolutely unacceptable. The law gives China's Coast Guard, technically meant for policing the seas, authority to board and inspect foreign vessels in waters claimed by China and to demolish any structures built on Chinese-claimed reefs. The Coast Guard has also been authorized to create temporary exclusion zones, as needed, to stop foreign vessels and personnel from entering Chinese-claimed waters. The move has implications for Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, all of which have long-standing claims to portions of the South China Sea. China claims jurisdiction over almost all of the resource-rich and strategically important body of water. It is not only about Taiwan and the South China Sea, but also about the territorial claim it holds against Japan over the Senkaku, Diaoyu Islands in the East China Sea, Yoichiro Sato, professor at the Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University in Japan, told VOA. Colin Koh Swee Lin, research fellow at the Institute of Defense Studies in Singapore, said the new law gives Beijing a certain legal cover for its actions in the South China Sea. It also feeds into Beijing's portrayal of China as a party which tries to promote maritime stability by relying on its Coast Guard instead of using its navy. Given the timing of the law, there is also a debate on whether Beijing is trying to test the resolve of the new U.S. administration of President Joe Biden to stand up for countries in and around the South China Sea and the East China Sea. Seeking to drive a wedge between Washington and its regional allies, Beijing has thrown the gauntlet to the new Biden administration, said Mohan Malik, visiting fellow at the Near East South Asia Center for Strategic Studies at the U.S. Department of Defense. Beijing's deployment of bigger and more powerful Coast Guard ships in the South China Sea for ramming purposes indicate a serious escalation in the maritime disputes, he said. It also shows Beijing's growing confidence in escalation control as China ups the ante against its smaller and weaker neighbors.